Hi everyone, JD here with episode 3 of my Galactic Conquest series. As always, this will be a one-stop video for all this week's Star Wars related news, including updates on Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, DICE's Battlefront, Star Wars Rebels, and much more. Now, as with every episode in this series, I'm going to be playing the Advent of the Sith campaign for Maverick's Knights of the Old Republic Galactic Conquest mod, which means I'll be playing my way through as the Sith Empire and playing as some pretty badass characters, as seen in KotOR and in KotOR 2, the Sith Lords. Now, the last two episodes of this series were really heavy on the big Force Awakens and Battlefront trailers that we saw at Star Wars Celebration, and now all of that's done and dusted, so the amount of news that's been around has died down a bit. But I'm going to use this episode to update you on all the other stuff from Star Wars Celebration that I didn't cover, as well as other Star Wars news this week. But before all of that, I'll be starting off here with some updates on my channel and the Star Wars Battlefront 2 modding community. So first things first, there are some great mods to be on the lookout for with releases coming soon. So the first of these is the third release of Anakin's Battlefront Republic Commando mod. I've done a couple of videos on this mod so far, but the third release promises even more content, including support for Marvel Force Conversion Pack, Team Deathmatch and Capture the Flag support, and a brand new Galactic Conquest, which is going to be absolutely fantastic to see. There's not enough Galactic Conquest mods out there, and I'm really hyped to be able to play this one. So considering how epic it was to start with, I can't wait to check out the new release of this mod. Another mod to watch is the in-game skin changer mod from Commander Awesome. With the beta that was released recently, I gave it a try, and it's a fantastically well executed concept. The mod allows you to pause the game and change the skins of the different sides using some new commands in the Fate console. So it's nice and easy to use. You just pause the game and go to the Fate console, and there they all are. You can choose any skins you want without even having to quit the game, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's already got an impressive selection of different legions and troops that you can choose from, but there are also plans to add even more obscure skins based on EU content, including Star Wars The Old Republic Troopers, Senate Commandos, HK and Sith Droids, KotOR Armor Troopers, and even the ARC Troopers of the Moonlets 10. Captain Fordo rules! So I'm still looking forward to that one. And then there's Ben Ozz's Clone Wars Era mod. So I've done lots of gameplay on the beta of that recently, but one of the coolest updates on this mod is that the full release is going to feature Fives in his ARC Trooper armor from Star Wars The Clone Wars on the planet Kamino. So I'm still hoping we'll see Echo at some point, but I can't wait for the first release. It's going to be great, so be sure to keep your eye out for all of those mods. Now moving on, I gave you a little update on my channel last episode, just to tell you of all my plans that I have once I finish up on a few of my current series. And another idea that I've been toying with this week is doing some Star Wars Jedi Academy mod videos. Now, I've been messing around with Jedi Academy mods for a while now, and there's some fantastic skins, as well as some epic total conversion mods that are out there. So I've been wondering if you'd like to see some gameplay of these mods and these skin packs in the near future. So let me know in the comments below if you're interested in that idea. And aside from that, that's pretty much it for now on my channel and Star Wars Battlefront's community. So let's move on to this week's Star Wars news. So last episode was really Battlefront heavy, as could be expected after the trailer release. And we're all yet to see any gameplay, but there's been a few updates that have been given by DICE employees to calm some of the fans' nerves after it's been announced there will be no single player campaign, no space battles, and no prequel-era game modes or maps in this game. So, Battlefront's producer, Jesper Nielsen, has stated that we have and are still discussing space every now and again. We know it has some very exciting prospects, so of course it'd be fun to explore. When and if that will happen is impossible for me to say, but no, we're not saying that space battles are evil and we will never ever touch them with a 10-foot pole. What you see in DLC is sometimes the result of things that you started thinking about during the latter part of development. So from those comments we can still have hope that some of the content that isn't in the actual game at launch will see a release eventually. So like I said in my last video, ignoring Clone Wars and not having space battles is a huge waste of potential. So Battlefront's producer has also added that no content will be held back from the initial release of the game to be sold later on as DLC. So that's actually ensuring we're actually going to get a full game for the price we're going to pay, which to be honest I would expect, but then again this is EA, so maybe not. Fans, including myself to a certain extent, have also been worried that the game would only feature 8 maps over 4 planets. These rumours have since been stated to be false, as Jesper Nielsen then went on to explain, "I cannot stress this enough. There will be more than 8 maps," which is good enough news for me, as a lot of the appeal of the original games came in the fact that we could battle on a huge variety of different worlds in the Star Wars universe. We've also received other updates, such as the fact that the AT-ATs in the game will be on rails, meaning they can only travel down a set path as opposed to allowing the player to steer them in any direction they choose to, as they did in the originals. As well as this, it's also been announced that DICE will not be making Battlefront's destructible terrain as large scale as Battlefields, as it does not suit the game's style. However, destructible terrain will still be present in the game. And lastly, Instant Action will be making a return to the game in some form, as it's been confirmed by a DICE employee on Twitter. You'll be able to pick a planet/map and fight against AI or bots. So I'm going to take this one with a bit of a pinch of salt, as this could possibly be a reference to the mission mode that was announced at Star Wars Celebration. But for me, an offline player versus bots mode, like the original Instant Action, is a must for this game. Now, moving on to the announcements made at Star Wars Celebration about the series of spin-off Star Wars movies, which are set to begin with Star Wars Rogue One in 2016. So, there was a small preview shown to audiences at a panel at Star Wars Celebration, and the series of spin-off films have been named the Anthology films. So Star Wars Rogue One is set during the same time span as Star Wars Rebels, which is between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So it's during a time period where the Jedi Knights are no longer present in the galaxy, and the film will instead follow a band of rebel fighters who will unite to steal the secret plans for the Death Star. Now this all sounds great, but I guess it rules out the return of KotOR in the canon universe, which sucks, but hey-ho. Now, the next major piece of Star Wars news is the new Star Wars Rebels Season 2 trailer. So, out of all the trailers at Star Wars Celebration, this one was unbearably cool. So much so, I'm not going to be able to avoid spoilers here. There were some fantastic throwbacks to Star Wars The Clone Wars. And first of all, Vader is back in business, and he looks more frightening than ever. With Season 1 of Rebels ending with the Inquisitor's death, he warned Kanan that some things are more frightening than death, and it's all come full circle to show that he was actually talking about Vader, who will now be acting as the main villain for this second season. In the trailer we see Vader make his presence known, and he takes on Kanan and Ezra, where you truly come to appreciate that his level of power is so much greater than theirs. I mean, the dude's choking Ezra and pushing his own lightsaber blade towards his throat in a single move. That's impressive. Most impressive. And then there's Ahsoka, who's been thrown into the mix, and that leads to the inevitable meeting between her and her former master, and I can't wait to see how that's going to go down. But I also want to see how they develop the character of an older Ahsoka and her interactions with the rest of the Rebels crew as well. And finally, then there's the return of the clones. We got Captain Rex, Commander Wolffe, and Republic Commander Gregor all survived the events of Revenge of the Sith, and did not carry out Order 66, so I'd assume they had the chips that compulse them to obey the Order, removed after Fives discovered it in Clone Wars Season 6. So now all 3 clones are being very elderly as a result of the accelerated aging process. So it'll be interesting to see how they tie into the story, and it'll be great to have some closure on some fan favourite characters as well. I mean, it's good to finally be able to see how Appo became the commander in Episode 3 as opposed to Rex, even though Rex had been of a higher level of command than him, and how Gregor might have survived from that episode in the Clone Wars as well. And so we'll finally be getting some closure on that. So all in all, this season is looking epic. And my final piece of Star Wars news is on the new run of comic books that we'll be getting, as we get some more information on the Shattered Empire comic book run, which is going to be leading into Star Wars The Force Awakens, as the series has been revealed to take place straight after Return of the Jedi, and it's going to explore the impact of the Emperor's death on the Empire and the rest of the galaxy. So this is going to bridge the gap between the original trilogy and the brand new sequel trilogy, which is going to make this a definitive purchase for me. There's also the announcement of a new comic book series called Lando, which, as the title cunningly suggests, it's based around Lando Calrissian, and will take place before we met him in The Empire Strikes Back, and the first story arc is going to kick off with him and Lobot taking up a mission to steal a coveted ship. Possibly the Millennium Falcon, maybe, who knows. And considering Lando is one of the coolest characters in Star Wars, I think it's about time we got to know him a little better, so I'm really happy with the announcement of this series, and I'll be sure to be picking this one up as well. That pretty much concludes all the Star Wars news I have for you this week, and pretty much wraps up everything I have to say in this week's video too. So be sure to check out the next episode for more Star Wars news, Battlefront 2 mod news, updates on my channel, and some shoutouts. I'll leave you all with my gameplay of this fantastic mod, so thanks for watching everyone, bye!
Select a bonus. Vector tank bonus activated. Our troops have received Bacta injections. Enemy forces have been enhanced with Bacta. Command post for the Empire. The enemy is losing reinforcements. Captured a command post. Hostile reinforcement count is diminishing. Hostile reinforcement count is diminishing. Hostile reinforcement count is diminishing. Victory is within our grasp. A command post is under Imperial control. Their reinforcements are dwindling. Their reinforcements are dwindling. A command post for the Empire. Hostile reinforcement count is diminishing. All fleets awaiting orders, sir. Select a bonus to purchase. Leader bonus purchase. Advanced blaster bonus purchase. Please select a fleet to command. Movement cap. Fleet constructed. Coruscant. Please select a destination. Select a bonus for this battle. Leader bonus activated. Our leader is on the battlefield. A command post for the Empire. We've captured a command post. The enemy is losing reinforcements. Reinforcements are dwindling. We've captured a command post. The enemy is losing reinforcements. Victory is within our grasp. Hostile reinforcement count is diminishing. A command post is... Their reinforcements are dwindling.